Okay, welcome back. Well, yes, we're talking about Professor Tola Banjo, who is the Vice Chancellor of Wesley University of Science and Technology in Ondo State. You'd have thought it was in Texas or something way here, Wesley. Morning, and thank you for coming on this morning.
Good morning.
Well, since we're talking about education, let's start off with this, because it dovetails into that. Everybody talking about this policy of government about NECO, JAMB conducting exams. What will be their new role? And everybody think, I mean, yes, it's been talked about, but the education sector, if this were to happen, what would it change? Would it affect anything from your perspective?
It will definitely affect a lot of things. When I read it in the Tribune, I was upset.
Why?
That government could have that in mind, to scrap NECO, to reorganize JAMB, the way that universities will now be conducting their own exams. I said, well, are we going back to those old days when we were very few and there are very few universities in the country? The first is it's going to be very unwieldy. If you ask 120 universities to conduct entrance exams for students in this country, it's going to be very. We need a clearinghouse like JAMB. And JAMB has improved a lot. We need a clearinghouse. Take a first generation university, for example, let's say UNILAG. If you say every university should organize its own exam, then they're going to have about 80 to 100,000 applicants.
He sent his comments on Twitter as we discussed it. He said, look, is it not the same thing with JAMB? JAMB also, you have much more students than the universities can take. And JAMB knows this, but they consistently maintain that policy. So what would be different if the universities were to toe that line?
The difference is that the child, the student now, will have to take as many forms as possible. That's what I'm trying to say. JAMB is okay as a clearinghouse. There are so many qualified Nigerian students, prospective students, who do not have a space in the university. So JAMB is there to streamline. It's a pity that we have JAMB. In some advanced countries, we don't even need JAMB. But in a country where you do not have enough facilities for qualified students, then you need to do some weeding. That's why JAMB has come in. And when a student should just take one form, pick 3 choices, and let the universities now screen for them.
It's a very interesting perspective coming from the Vice Chancellor of the university, because a host of people would have thought that, hooray, for the Vice Chancellors, they can now directly pick the kind of students they want, conduct their own exams. There will be no need to do post-UMEs or post-JAMB exams, as they always do. Or is it that you want JAMB to exist? I mean, conducting his own exams, then you can now select your pick from the ones the JAMB has cleared for you. Is that what you're looking at?
Please remember that even under the present situation where there's JAMB, the universities still have the opportunity to pick.
Exactly.
Through post-UME.
You described JAMB as a clearinghouse. Are you saying that if sifted, as it were, if a million students are going to apply for university education, JAMB maybe trims it down to, say, 100,000, then universities can continue from there? Is that what you're looking at?
What I'm saying is this. Take, like I said, a first-generation university. A university like OAU, for example, will be able to cope with just 36,000 students post-UME than 100,000 students for the real exam. That's what I'm saying. It will be so unwieldy. When I was at that level, there were just 5 universities in this country, and you could afford to take forms for each of the. In fact, on some occasions, there will be a clash, and you'll be picking which one do I attend and which one do I do, and all that. But here it will be unwieldy. 128 universities, 128 different exams to get in the university, and all that. So I think
it's interesting that, we have not been told that JAMB will be scrapped. We've been told that their functions should be streamlined. Do you think that there is a way that, we can streamline? Because another professor was here some time ago, and she said that she still sees a role for exams. She still sees a role for JAMB in the conduct of exams, even if universities would do it by themselves.
That role, that streamlining, already exists. For example, I read it that, so if a student is admitted in 3 places, then JAMB nullifies 2 of that. They still do it now. JAMB does it. When your first admission is the valid one, because many students get admitted because they tried their luck, but the first admission is the valid one. everything is computerized, and once the name comes, as it says, no, you better go and reject this admission before that. So I really don't know what JAMB will be doing if they're not organizing exams. I don't know what they will be doing. All these streamlining things, they're all there. I don't know if you know that the valid letter of admission for any undergraduate now is the one issued by JAMB, not by the universities. Although universities issue provisional whatever, but we still take it to JAMB for JAMB to do further screening and all that. So but the way we are in this country, we need a body like JAMB to, as a clearinghouse, as I said, we need a body like JAMB before each university now conducts its own examination. There was a time